It's time for Debrief, your quick wrap-up of TRT World's top stories from the week.
We're not centered. We need centered.
Thank you.
Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps says it has targeted a facility housing U.S. forces in Jordan, killing several soldiers.
Trump touched on the recent deaths of 3 U.S. service members, 2 stationed in Jordan. And he seemed to criticize Jordan, suggesting that casualties happen when you rely on, quote, other people to do the job.
Trump warned that Tehran would pay many times over for killing U.S. troops. Explosions have been reported in several locations along Iran's southern coast.
Trump is once again repeating his long claims that Iran is desperate to negotiate its way out of the conflict.
The IRGC is also saying that they have targeted 2 oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz while attempting to transit the southern route around Oman.
But US President Donald Trump has once again reiterated that US forces will retaliate if Iran carries out any new attacks. Any time the Islamic Republic of Iran shoots at a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, the United States will bomb and destroy one bridge or power plant. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has responded on X, saying our defense doctrine is clear, an eye for an eye. Iran's top negotiator Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf has said that no one will sell oil in a region where Tehran is not able to do so.
So the red markers here, they represent US attacks across Iran, and the yellow markers there, they represent Iranian retaliation.
President Trump oversaw the return of the remains of 4 American service members killed in the Gulf last weekend.
More of an unending foreign war of choice, which has already cost billions of dollars.
Senator, the estimate we have as of today is $37.5 billion.
It's just over 100 days until the US midterm elections. The US president's approval rating is sitting at a record low.
We are hearing reports from the intelligence community that Iran basically moved its enriched uranium from Natanz nuclear facility to this mountain that you see here right now. This is approximately 1.5 kilometers south of Natanz nuclear facilities. It is called Pickaxe.
President Trump is escalating his threats. Yesterday, he said that the United States is going to bomb the Pickaxe Mountain soon.
The war has been reduced to near daily eye for an eye type threats. Iranian state media is reporting that a missile struck a power plant in southern Iran near the Bashir nuclear plant.
The United States airstrikes against targets in Iran that are focused on the country's south continued for 12 straight night, and Iran also retaliated by launching missile barrages and drone attacks for the U.S. bases in the region, in Kuwait and also in Jordan.
They're probably not ready to do a deal yet, but they will be soon, because the price they're paying is very high despite their tough talk and their flowery language.
The Strait of Hormuz obviously is the world's most important energy choke point. Further southwest here, the Red Sea, the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, it is another critical maritime choke point.
12% of global trade passes through it.
Earlier, 4 oil tankers carrying Saudi crude turned back in the Red Sea after a warning from the Yemeni armed group. And on Monday, the Houthis declared a naval blockade of Saudi Arabia. And meanwhile, Donald Trump warned that Washington would, quote, take care of things if the Houthis follow through on their threats.
Iran's backed Houthis have carried out their threat to strike Saudi shipping. Riyadh said the Ansalya caught fire in a missile attack.
The tanker, one of 2 the Iran-backed group says it attacked with drones and missiles. Several tankers are also reported to have changed course.
And now there are wider concerns after the US approved Saudi Arabia to proceed with a civilian nuclear program. The deal could allow the kingdom to enrich uranium in the future.
But within 24 hours, President Trump added a new condition. The deal
only goes ahead if Riyadh joins the Abraham Accords and normalizes relations with Israel. Israeli officials are scrambling. A nuclear deal they weren't consulted on, a U.S. administration reshaping the region without them.
President Trump has always admired tough military men, and at the Oval Office on Tuesday, the admiration was seemingly mutual with the combat veteran, Lebanese President Joseph Aoun.
Meeting such a great president like yourself.
Aoun is hoping to pressure Trump to lean on Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu to honor Israel's commitments regarding the so-called pilot zones in Lebanon, where Hezbollah is to be disarmed, the Lebanese army takes control, and the Israeli forces withdraw.
Pilot zone operations commenced on Tuesday with a checkpoint run by the Lebanese army.
Here we raise a question to our state. How can a sovereign country accept pilot zones on its territory?
Many Lebanese still expect the Israeli army to fully withdraw from all areas it's occupied during the conflict.
Here's the news in brief, where we bring you even more top stories.
In the UK, a new leader moved into number 10 on Monday for the 7th time in 10 years. Andy Burnham has just spent a week in office as Britain's new premier, promising a better economy and country, after months of pressure forced out his predecessor, Keir Starmer.
Nobody can be happy with the fact that we're seeing all of this turbulence, and I'm conscious that I'm the 6th person to walk up Downing Street in the last decade. That isn't good enough. We need to be better. We will be better.
Burnham has already replaced much of Starmer's cabinet, promising to bring stability back to British politics while tackling the cost of living crisis and ending homelessness with a 10-year program to, quote, turn the country around. But his biggest challenge will be stopping the rise of Nigel Farage's Reform UK and convincing voters that Labour deserves another term. Moving on to the consequences of change in another government. In Ukraine, President Volodymyr Zelenskyy reshuffled the country's military leadership following days of rare wartime protests over his dismissal of popular ex-defense minister Mikhailo Fedorov. Zelenskyy also changed the country's army chief. The Ukrainian president had said his decision to replace Fedorov was based on growing tension between the minister and the army's top command. Meanwhile, Zelenskyy also offered Fedorov other roles in his government, but the former minister has rejected them as only the defense ministry would allow him to continue his reforms. Still, many in Ukraine see the new commander-in-chief as an attempt by the president to calm public anger after one of the biggest political backlashes of his presidency. Speaking of political backlashes, over in India, thousands among the country's youth, calling themselves cockroaches after an insult about them made by India's Chief Justice, spent days on the streets, and even marched on the parliament on Monday. The spark came when a leaked exam paper resulted in the test being cancelled. A retest was held, but the process led to dozens of students committing suicide. Now the cockroach movement is calling for the resignation of the education minister. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has had no choice but to say he's launching an investigation. India's opposition parties have now thrown their support behind the youth. And on Friday, the protesters got to tell their demands to the government.
We have said the government that the entire country has erupted in protest, which will only grow stronger from here. And if Education Minister does not resign soon, the protest will grow wider.
The movement has since become a broader expression of frustration over corruption, unemployment, and opportunities for young people. And in a region where upset Gen Z ousted governments in countries like Bangladesh and Nepal, Modi's reaction could prove just as important as protests themselves. And the new United Nations report says global hunger has declined for a third consecutive year, with improvements recorded across every continent. But despite that progress, Africa remains the world's most undernourished region, where 1 in 5 people still face chronic hunger.
And the big difference to previous year is that this year the rate of hunger has declined in all continents, including Africa, although very, very slightly. Now, do we expect this to continue over time? We hope it will continue over time. We hope the trend won't change, but there are several risks that are affecting us right now. And those risks are linked to what is happening with the Strait of Hormuz, linked to the input prices, because the Strait of Hormuz, what it did was basically to remove from the supply all the core inputs for agriculture. Energy.
It's a taste of our features from the World Cup.
And then there was one. Spain are World Cup champions once again. 104 matches done and dusted. And we're about to say the same thing about Charity World's World Cup coverage as well. We've been in North America since day one, since that opening match at the Azteca, even before June 11th, actually. And we're going to get to talk to celebrate both the winners and the whole tournament. I'm Talha Duman, and I have some colleagues with me, Renee Washington, American sports broadcaster, Arda Oja, our North American sports analyst, and of course my colleague, Tit-for-tat. Welcome, guys. What a way to end this match, right?
I'm in complete shock. I can't believe of all teams, Spain. Who called it? From the very beginning. Who called it?
I called it. Thank you so much. Since day one, I called it. Not a single person believed me.
There you go.
Okay, listen, that doesn't change the fact that I also know the game.
Yes, the final whistle has been blown here at the MetLife Stadium. Massive performance from Spain. They are officially the world champions. And here with me is Lance Santos. Lance, I hate to admit it when you are right, but you have had your eye on this Spanish side since day dot, right? They completely stifled Argentina, who didn't have a shot on target.
Yeah.
I mean, a world-class performance from that defense.
That's the story of the night, right? That is the story of the night, that Argentina come into a World Cup final and don't have a single shot on target. They have 2 shots all game. You compare that with 20 that Spain had. And I don't think Spain played very well. I don't think Spain were anywhere close to their best tonight. I think it wasn't a classic, but finals are never a classic. Nobody wants to lose. That's Spain's first priority.
Totally wasn't the result that they expected. It wasn't the farewell they prepared for Lionel Messi, and you can see the disappointment in their faces. But at the same time, there was a momentum to pay tribute to Lionel Messi and the Argentina team as a whole. As soon as the match finished, people start clapping, singing this song of encouragement for the Argentina team, and giving like a good thank you to Lionel Messi for all his performance through the years, as all the big happiness that they have brought to the country through all these years, and especially the last World Cup in Qatar. Today, the plan was to have that big final for him and to finish his professional career as a professional footballer. The history is different. We know the result. Argentina didn't play as stronger as Spain was. That is clear. People saw that here. They saw that Argentina didn't play as good as they did in other games. But this was added up. We saw a different Argentina playing in the last games against England, against Switzerland, Egypt, Jordan. So there was something cooking, let's say, to some extent, and Spain was stronger today. Probably the biggest surprise for many was the good performances that by Argentinian goalkeeper Dibu Martinez,